Ó, 3, ó. 3.
3.
Ó lá.
E tudo pro mesmo lugar, né?
I think they said thrice means 3, like he's seeing 3 lights.
Ó, 3, ó. 3.
3.
Ó lá.
Whenever you see thrice, that is making me think of TR3Bs. I don't know if they trying to get their coordinates right or what. Whatever happened to the giant balloon animals? Halloween is until what, another 6 months? What type of nightmare horror parade is going on here? And look, y'all terrifying the whole village. Look. Please don't let this thing blink or move. Last thing we need is this thing stalking around nighttime. It's like a colossal nightmare genie slash Beetlejuice. Look at the drip though. He's got some gold on. That's crazy. What type of blinged out Nephilim was this? This is crazy. This is a Nephilim genie decked out in gold. Terrifying.
Shows some. Alright, this video right here shows some type of unknown creature that they found in this cave. Now I want y'all to look at this creature when his eye blink. Now this creature could be prehistoric. Looks like it probably was around for a long time. And it definitely looks like something you do not want to mess with. I can't tell if it's a giant snake or some type of giant lizard type creature, but it definitely looks like it could be reptilian. I'm not sure. But this video right here is crazy.
The eye kind of resembles a mammal more than a reptile, because you know a reptile would have that slit. My question is this bottom part of the overall creature's body? This right here, giving it the land before time long neck looking type dinosaur creature. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is it? What is really going on in our skies? If you guys said that's no meteor, that's an angel. And they're saying this giant meteorite hit and went straight into Lake Erie. How convenient for it to land straight in Lake Erie. We always see these meteorites come down to Earth, but where are they? Where are the actual specimens at?
Now, the mainstream narrative states that what we see here, the brick, that stuff up there is the oldest. This is obviously restoration work here.
Oh wow, what is this place? This is giving me Kailasa Temple vibes.
So these lintels we find in all these other buildings, this one's been fallen down, but the lintels aren't attached. They're just kind of tucked up there. But you see the top of this one has those same kind of keyholes that would attach it to another block. But there aren't any blocks like that up there. So it's obvious that this was repurposed into this mud brick structure.
Damn guys, it looks like we could be looking at a reset on top of a reset. You know, people talk about Tartaria and all the time, but that I feel like was just one time period. What we're looking at could be, this could be one reset, and this could be a reset way before all that even popped off, and they just were trying to reconstruct it. So what we're looking at is a total of 2 different resets, maybe even 3. If you look at this keyhole for some type of ancient technology that they could have been popping off, Tell me this isn't something that is in some type of Indiana Jones movie where you gotta place something in there and then a door opens, you know, leading to some treasure buried 3 feet below, you know what I'm saying? Damn, there's so much in this world. So many mysterious structures of ancient history. I gotta get out more, man. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are feeling the same way. It's like, man, we gotta go travel. We need a magic school bus field trip to all these ancient temples. Bangkok Temple, Kailasa Temple, the pyramids in Egypt. Except we ain't in no magic school bus. We in the magic submersible. Let's go.
There's a massive doorway carved into a mountain in Kazakhstan, and no one can explain how it got there. Look at it. Then look at the people next to it. This thing is enormous. Clean edges, defined shape, almost perfectly cut. Not random, not rough. It looks intentional, like it was built. Because this doesn't look like erosion. It looks like an entrance. And this is not the only one. Similar oversized doorways exist all over the world. In Peru, in Egypt, in the Middle East. Always massive, always precise, always unexplained. So who are they built for? Because in ancient texts, there are references to beings much larger than humans, described as giants. And if something like that once existed, then structures like this start to make more sense. But there's another possibility. Many of these sites are connected to underground systems, tunnels, chambers, hidden spaces, some still sealed, some still unexplored. Which means this doorway might not just be a structure, it might lead somewhere. So the question is this just a rock formation? Or are we looking at the entrance to something hidden beneath the earth?
I remember looking at this and one of you guys said, Chuck, that's no door. That might be an eye socket. And when you said that, I was like, dang. Do you know how massive this creature would have to be if that was an eye socket? Look at the detail of this Anubis ancient artifact. You could see the rib cage. At first you think this is just a normal cliff, but when we zoom in, it has a scarier meaning behind it. Take a look at this. It's full of tombs. Wow, an entire side turned into a necropolis. But when you guys look at this, especially if you've been watching me for a while, if you look at this structure right here, the theater wall of Paneria is what it's called, I guess. You guys already know where I'm going. How crazy would it be if this was a tree stump? I mean, look at the formation and look how this is just protruding up from the ground. Like it just was sliced at the top. The tree fell. I don't know where it is. It could be back here laying in the back for all we know. Whenever this got sliced, it got sliced way before they put this necropolis at its base. So just looking at this formation, you know, we got this desolated looking Colosseum where they probably had some type of ritual or event going on right here. And then right down the road, in the background, you see this giant looking petrified tree stump necropolis tomb. It's extremely interesting what this landmass is telling us, to say the least. So much is going on. When you really break it down and look at everything, I love to hear your guys' thoughts and views.
From the buried cows to the buried Savannah, Georgia. Just look at the flimsy little wooden bridges going to these alleged new constructions with entire floors already buried. And we see the same all over this realm. The signs of the many resets. Does it seem like we're living in our very own version of 1984 yet? As they told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears, It was their final, most essential command. Because when you are told to doubt yourself, doubt what you see, and only accept what they tell you, then you are that much easier controlled. A non-player character you have become.
Yeah, those giant cows are massive. Didn't the Bible speak about y'all worship them giant golden calves? And it's actually scary that they're digging up these damn cows.
If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification, and they would deduct money from your what they call WeChat account. They use two main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago, so this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kid's lifetime or my grandkids. It's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away.
And I believe they do the same thing for tolls. Alright guys, we have another ancient Egyptian artifact of Akhenaten, I believe. What is that red substance on his neck? What is going on with that? Look at this symbol. Doesn't this hat kind of resemble the same hat that the Pope wears? If you thought that last one was crazy, check out this UAP footage that they caught on film in Brazil. Mercury Arc Rectifiers. Sometimes people find them all through UK still working. And in this photo in the background, people theorize that this could be an ancient Egyptian arc rectifier. I'm low-key excited. This is one of my favorite topics to do deep dives on, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, and what they do and how they were.
What did they do with this alternating current, you ask? For a very big clue to that, we will visit Dendera further along the River Nile and decode this component. This bulb, as it has been termed, is actually something very unique and special. I decoded it as a Mercury arc valve or rectifier. This is a type of electrical rectifier used for converting high voltage or high current alternating current, AC, into direct current, DC. And this is how you charge your batteries or run DC equipment. Thank you for that lovely animation, Sandra. Excellent work.
I mean, how crazy is this? Look at this technology. Doesn't it remind you of like something you'll see in like a Frankenstein movie where he's trying to resurrect Frankenstein? You know what I'm saying? But these are the type of devices that they see and find all around UK and like abandoned train stations underground. Find it extremely fascinating that some of these are still running to this day and power some of those underground train stations that they find in the UK.
Rectifiers are still in use today. You see, Mercury has a very good use in converting alternating current to direct current. This was obviously used extensively in ancient times. If you remember, I mentioned they found amounts of mercury below a pyramid in Mexico. You can now see its purpose, converting alternating current to direct current. So the Dendera light bulb now helps me decode a larger piece of the puzzle.
This article says liquid mercury found in the pre-Aztec pyramid, right? Look at this. I just punched in Terracotta Warriors Emperor's Chamber surrounded by mercury. Tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, 210 BCE, is a sealed underground palace located near the Terracotta Army, believed to be surrounded by flowing rivers of toxic mercury. Key details of the tomb and mercury. The Mercury Rivers historic accounts, like the records of the Grand Historian or CG, describe the tomb as having a miniature model of the emperor with mercury used to simulate rivers, lakes, and seas. Scientific confirmation. Studies in 2020 An earlier soil analysis detected mercury concentrations hundreds of times higher than surrounding areas, confirming the presence of high-level liquid metal. So the purpose, the mercury was intended to symbolize life, longevity, and to ensure the emperor's immortality and continued power even in the afterlife. So I guess he thought that maybe for some reason it might have had some power to it. Now, after reading that, one of the questions that come to mind, what exactly did that emperor see for him to jump all in on Mercury, place all his chips on black? Mercury is it. What did that emperor see that made him be like, oh yeah, this is definitely what I need, is my question. And look, this is the crazy part. Ancient texts suggest the tomb is also protected by automatic crossbow traps designed to eliminate intruders, adding to the dangers that prevent opening the site. The key words that grabbed me here is opening the site. So that tells me they already know where the location is. They just don't want to mess with it, because it sounds like they got some Indiana Jones style booby traps, you know, just like the movie. You remember when the giant boulder started running and he had to duck under the darts that shot out the wall? I wonder where they got those ideas from. What inspiration led to that for the Indiana Jones movies, if you really start thinking about it? And also look at this. This is another reason. An unopened tomb. The central chamber has never been opened due to the toxicity of the mercury and the potential of preserving its contents. So you mean to tell me y'all gonna knock down King Tut's door and put all his stuff on display, but you mean to tell me we can't see what's inside Qin Shi Huang's Mercury River Forbidden Temple? I want to see the Mercury Sword of 1,000 souls encrusted with jade. Show me the legendary armor of Mercury Reflection.
Cool. You can now see its purpose, converting alternating current to direct current. So the Dendera light bulb now helps me decode a larger piece of the puzzle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to present to you the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh my goodness, is he gonna say the Ark of the Covenant was a giant Mercury Arc Rectifier? That would be absolutely insane.
The Ark of the Covenant is a Mercury Arc Rectifier. It tells you this in your holy books. You will see me between the wings of angels. This is God. God is light, the electrical energy that is involved in the creation of all things. This creator is teaching science and knowledge, and how we as human beings can work with God to benefit humanity. To work with God requires you to know the rules of these electrical processes. God will work with you, not for you. Walter Russell. Edison's problems of sending DC current longer distance came with its problems, and fires were common. Tesla's idea was to send the alternating current to your homes and have the appliances convert it to DC electric current, which is for the most part still taking place today using semiconductors. So we are basically paying for the privilege of a spiral entering our homes and bringing appliances to life. Alternating current that is free and plentiful, that will never exhaust itself, and has always been here since this construct's creation. Take this most sacred of knowledge and share it far and wide, for it belongs to you all. Our ancients knew this and left for us all the clues which we have decoded. My next step, of course, would have been to see how it can be harvested in more modern times. But someone else already figured this part out by identifying the spires on most buildings are actually there to harvest from the ether. They are antennas. I'm not sure who came to this conclusion, but it is 100% correct and very good research. Do let me know who discovered this so I can credit you correctly in our next video. Very well done.
Yeah, they got actual video clips out there where they show like a tower with a pointy top, and at the top it's like got electricity whirling around the top.
Excellent research. The missing component from your antenna decode is the Mercury Arc Rectifier, or as replaced within modern times, a semiconductor. So the old world science and technology now meets the new world science and technology, and as you can see, they're very much the same. APM Research have decoded the ancients' understanding of the ether, the Milky Way, and how to harness and generate electricity, including the demonstrations and science required.